Okay, it's also worth talking about these two signs. This is an official construction zone that has a 30 sign attached to it, and this is a construction zone sign as well, but it doesn't have a posted speed limit. Now, it's kind of implied that it's a 30 zone if people are working on the road. It's an active construction site in the city. You probably don't want to be zooming past those construction workers at 50 kilometers an hour, right? So this requires you to use your discretion. This one is telling you, look, this is an actual 30 zone that you're coming into. So 31, and technically on the road test, they cannot accept it, okay? So when you see this sign, again, pay attention to the shape of the sign, and oftentimes this is a temporary sign that's on the sidewalk. They put it on the right sidewalk. So when you see the sign, you should be looking for the back of the same sign facing the oncoming traffic. Unfortunately, because it is a temporary sign, sometimes you'll see that there is no back of that construction sign that we can find. Sometimes you'll see gardeners, city gardeners, working on the trees and stuff planted in the median here, and they just need a little bit of a space here to work, so they just put a construction zone sign over here. But then because they're not working on that side of the road, they haven't bothered putting one over. So in this case, when you see the sign and you've visibly left the construction area, right? So sometimes there's pylons on the ground and there's people working, and then you look ahead and you're like, oh, here it's no longer a construction zone. So then you can assume that it's over. But again, use your discretion, pay attention to the signs. Don't just assume that it is a 30, right? So if you see this sign on the highway, you don't want to be like, oh, I'll go 30 here, because it might not be a 30 zone. So sometimes they have a sign on the highway saying 50 kilometers an hour, 60 kilometers an hour. So pay attention to posted speed limits. If the speed limit is there, abide by it exactly, right? So don't go past that. Speeding tickets double in construction zones, and it's an automatic fail if you do go faster than that on the test. Now, if you just see this sign again, if you see people working, just because there wasn't a 30 sign posted doesn't mean you should zoom past them. So use your discretion, give the construction workers a bit more room if possible, and pay attention.